Welcome to Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is all about linear patterns. The first thing we are going to talk about, though, is independent and dependent variables. So we are going to be given now word situations or real life situations that we have to figure out what is going to depend on the other. So it says this chapter we will be discussing what a function is, but first to create a working function, you must have an independent variable and a dependent variable. With this information, you can also create a dependency statement to go along with it. Today we're going to be given a dependency statement and we must identify the independent and dependent variable. So here I give you two different variables. How much money you make versus the number of hours you work. Okay, so how we have to think about this is we're going to figure out what is going to change the overall amount of the other. So let's say you get your dream job at Krusty Krab. You are the burger flipper. So if you work 0 hours, your paycheck will be $0. If you work 2 hours and you make $15 an hour, your paycheck's going to be $30. So this how much money you make is a total. And this is going to be the variable, right? It's going to be what's changing because you can work 0 hours one week, you could work 40 hours one week. All of this is going to change your overall amount. So your overall total is always your dependent variable. So this would be how much money you make and your independent variable is what's going to change that value, which is the number of hours you work. Once you have identified your two variables, you can write a dependency statement to represent the data. This is how you would write it. You take one of your two variables and you put it in the first blank. You're saying that's going to depend on the other variable. Well, this is always your dependent, and the second blank is always going to be whatever you wrote in your independent. Okay, so you would say how much money you make depends on the number of hours you work. Okay, so here's another situation. The number of texts you send each month versus the total cost of your phone. So some of you may have unlimited texting, but back when it first came out, you used to have to pay per text. So it was so much money per text, which then would affect your overall bill. So this is the total cost of your phone. So whenever you see the keyword total, that's going to be your dependent variable. So this would be the total cost of your phone. And your independent variable would be what's going to change that total cost of your phone, and it would be the number of texts you send. Each month. So for our dependency statement, remember the dependent variable, whatever you wrote there goes first. So in this case, it's the total cost of your phone. And that's going to depend on the number of texts you send. number of texts you send. Now, if you were a manufacturer, like you worked in a company and you produced teddy bears, your total cost, your difference, or your two variables, sorry, is the total cost of manufacturing teddy bears versus the number of bears ordered. Okay? The cost of manufacturing these teddy bears is going to change whether whoever you're working with orders 5 teddy bears or 50. So your dependent is going to be the cost of the teddy bears. And your independent variable is going to be the number of bears ordered. So your dependency statement would be the cost of the teddy bears depends on the number of bears ordered. Sorry, this is my bad pen. So that's what we're going to do today. Tomorrow we're going to build a little bit more onto this. So what I need you to do is try your in-class practice, show your teacher, check on the board, and that is today's lesson. Goodbye.